Alright, here we go. Time to probably finish Oracle of Seasons. There's no more trips needed, no more grinding to get pieces of heart. We've just got the last dungeon and the final boss, and then the final boss. So we're gonna do that. This area is the last place that the Rod of Seasons will be relevant, so naturally they made it very interesting. I want to say this place serves kind of the same role as the Black Tower in Oracle of Ages. It's a place where, it's a place that's highly relevant to the plot that you explore. Since the Black Tower is the lead up to the final boss in Ages, well, this is instead just the lead up to the Oracle of Seasons. Which means the lead up to the final boss is just kind of lame and underwhelming. But at least we have this Temple Ruins area. Let's see. I might want it to be winter. Yes. That's right, make it winter for a little trip to Subrosia. You see, the problem with the Temple Ruins right now, with the remains of the Temple of Seasons, is that it isn't sufficiently covered in lava yet. So here we have this guy throwing random, useful-looking sprites into this pool of lava. He declares this shoots off huge fireworks. Just want to see, throw a big loopy. He did his board earlier. There's some flippers, shovel, boxing drums. I wonder if it's just like huge rupee plus boss key, like every other item type that can conceivably appear in your menu. That's not a real piece of heart, don't freak out. It would be cool if you could get an extra by snatching that, but you can't. Anyway, you want fireworks? You gotta use a Bahar Man. That's the one item you won't throw if he doesn't have it. But I have a Bahar. So this is that Subrosian's idea of fire. And because there's some kind of weird thing, because this area is half Subrosia, well, we get to take the ruins and explore them apart. Anyway, the problem with this area is it wasn't dangerous enough for Link to explore. Now that it's half covered in lava, it won't be so impossible to explore. So let's explore it. There's the last and final piece of art. I knew this was waiting for me, which is why I wanted to get all the others before coming to this just having a bit of fun thumbing my nose at the intended solution. And yes, there's a very good reason why the Maki Tree couldn't find the final dungeon. It's not in Polygon. It's here in Subrosia, looking at you with its eyes. Yeah, that's Zelda being idiot. She's gonna get captured pretty soon. I don't care, I'm busy with a cool dungeon. One of the best Zelda dungeons ever. Just flat out. Just thumbing my nose at the intended solution again. I don't think I can make this jump, but I want to try. Maybe with the snowshoe ring, but even then I really doubt it. I will admit, this is not necessarily the best of hints. What he's talking about is this armor sphere. What we need to do is get it out of the way. He says a silent watch may be needed. But what does silent really mean? Well, what he means is that you may need to stand still doing absolutely nothing but looking at this armor sphere a while. And it really is a lot. You have to be absolutely confident this is what you're supposed to do, because otherwise you're never going to guess this. You know, you would take forever to... Anyway. Waiting. I guess it's worth noting the silent watch is completely unnecessary, as you can bypass it by just coming up this way instead of worrying about that bridge. Because that bridge is from the other entrance to this room, which I was at before. But if you use that set of stairs, you don't need the bridge to be there. A little bit silly, really, considering this is where the dungeon item is. This is one of the latest dungeon items, I'll admit. It shoots 3 seeds at the same time. Ooh, so impressive. The seed shooter is a vastly better improvement on the idea behind this putting shot anyway. Alright, now this is one flaw with this dungeon. It has one of the most obnoxious and annoying to fight bosses just ever as a mid-boss. That's this chart. Anticon or something. So you have to shoot a mystery seed at him to make him cold. Then you have to shoot a fire seed at him to make him hurt. Then you have to shoot a mystery seed at him to make him cold. Rinse and repeat until he finally dies about 57 seeds later. I really think that's if you don't want to have to swap your weapon every single time you hit it, you could equip the Ember Seeds to your Seed Satchel instead, but then you're talking about trying to hit him from melee while he's constantly zipping around doing attacks. And that's just not safe. There's no way to use a sword on him. Well, you can pick up his, like, the ice that he makes in the ice form, and I guess you can hurt him in that form, but, like, that's also way riskier than just doing that. Honestly, this could all be solved if you could equip the slingshot and 2 buttons at once with 2 different seeds, but the way that they compacted the menu makes that impossible. So instead we're in this situation. Note that hitting him with the mystery seeds doesn't injure him. Just only the Ember Seed side actually counts as damaging the boss. And it's like every other shot doesn't do anything. I guess you at least have the shotgun back in the still he's gonna get it with the triple slingshot. That's about it though. He has way too much health for this being the one to use against him. It's ridiculous. Like he's still not dead yet. I must have shot 20 seeds in this guy by now. He's 15. Must take actually 20 entire seeds to kill. Anyway, since I have an easy warp back to the entrance, let's use it. I think I have to get to this from above. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this cable. Alright, back to this dungeon being good. Here is a great puzzle. I made a copy of this puzzle abroad. Walk of your science. You gotta hit these 3 ice blocks, there's those 3 spots. The ice blocks slide, they bump into each other. I never remember exactly what the solution is. So let's do it. back where we started, but now I've been lost. And with that, we have here the major set piece for this level, for this dungeon, the part that makes it really cool. But before that, a little memory puzzle, I guess you could call it. I can tell right away I wasn't going to remember that, so let's start over. Yeah, my strategy is generally to retry until I get an easier one. That one wasn't too bad to remember. So after throwing a bomb in situation to heat things up, we're going to throw some magical ice to cool things down a little bit. We needed to do that because you cannot carry ice down the stairs. I don't know why you can't, but you just can't, okay? So, because of that constraint, you gotta do this walk around to make this cart available to carry ice instead. So here's the thing. The final boss of this dungeon, it's pretty cool, but it's also very easy to cheese if you know what you need to do. And the game gives you a hint on the way in. Alright, so that was the sampling of the boss's ability, but you see, it can freeze you, but you can also freeze it. No other boss in the world is capable of being affected by the Pegasus Seed, but for some reason they made the decision that this one could. And I just killed it while it was a stone statue. Hilarious. Probably one of the easiest and kind of latest bosses if you know the trick, which is to use the dungeon item with some Pegasus Seeds, and it just dies. Well, that's the final essence. So we could go get the big seed now, but I need to clean something else up first, which might lead to me not actually finishing the game tonight. because we walked in and did the first couple rooms or so of it, but we really haven't seen the true terror of the hero's path yet. So I say it's high time we did that. The rules of the world will be followed? What does that mean? I love how Zelda's trying to give a speech, and then, like, not 2 feet away, this guy is still singing. It's hilarious. He's probably singing right over her. Like, getting louder the louder she gets, so nobody can hear either of them. It's great. That's right. That's the path to follow. Wield a sword and shield and eventually get killed by some monsters somewhere. We can't even talk to this kid, he's too enamored by this flower. He will stop, but he will not talk to you. Wow. Anyway, aside from the kid who's just having fun with the flower, everyone else seems real happy Zelda's in town. It sure would be terrible if she got instantly kidnapped in like 5 minutes. But the day Zelda returns, she's right here! She hasn't left yet, stupid. She must be talking— that must be dialogue written for when Zelda's kidnapped, that they accidentally left on when she's not. They forgot to write dialogue for when for that one person who was not kidnapped yet. We already did the pot room, like several rooms after it. Let's skip ahead to where we were, which was right here, Fiddler's Pit. I stopped here because I just really only wanted to enter here in the first place to get the secret from Azora, the better sword. But now that I have everything, it's time to get serious with this. That's just a meme trick. I guess this is just a sucker's trap. Like, oh yeah, you can spend 1,000,000 bombs to get there, or you can just do this. Okay, so I'm having the same input delay issues that I was before, but I think I could bypass this problem with just jump. Yeah, just about. I don't actually know where I'm trying to go, though, to the east. I hope you're ready to gamble with the magic boomerang. I don't really know of a better way to do this than to just throw it and hope for the best and then get the ones in the back. There we go. It's not so bad. Here we have another sucker trap. Looks like you're supposed to push the pot, but if you do, you just get stuck in there and you have to get rid of the pot. Welcome to the room with 4 buttons. We need to put a pot on each of those 4 buttons. So the first goal is to try not to waste any of them by just getting rid of them. So there's one. It would be very easy to not realize you can't take. This one's up against a corner, so there's no way we're getting it. So the other 2 have to be from among these 4. As far as I recall, one of them is that one in the corner. That's not right. Gonna have to start over. I got it, I know what to do now. We have to push these 3 up after getting the middle one from the 3 pots in the list. So, not to be forgotten that Oracle of Seasons was like billed and developed as the action game, the one that's about combat as opposed to a figure out puzzles, although there are plenty of puzzles in this game, including especially the Hero's Cave. But here we have a gauntlet of just a bunch of random enemies. You just have to fight them all. I happened to stumble into the toughest one first to go. Yeah, Viggoron's sword kind of sucks. It's not really any better than just, you know, the Master Sword. And here, with those bats out of the way, we have the true test of your skill. With the boomerang. It is so easy because you're trying to make a rightward input. It is so easy to just walk into the pit when you're trying to do this. And this is genuinely quite hard. I think there might be a way to cheese it so that you don't have to do this path, but I want to do it legitimately here. I almost got it a minute ago. Yes! Check that out. That is mastery of the magical blue. As is not really possible in any other game with the boomerang. So we have 8 treasure chests. We have some bodies of water strewn about. Their locations offer a clue. These are supposed to map to the 8 essences, the 8 dungeons in the actual game's world map. In the real world map of the game, which I cannot fully access because Hero's Cave is enough of a dungeon to get its own little map. I'm pretty sure this would be Malbrute, and then the Wits of Winter are over here, where you would have done that dungeon. And then, I think Dungeon 3 was Spool Swamp, which would be this one. Dungeon 4, I think it's over here somewhere. I'm a little bit muddled about that. Dungeon... oh wait, this isn't Spool Swamp, because I know what this is. So we got 1, 2. Spool Swamp must be over here for 3. 4 and 5 are these in some order or other. And then this is 6. No, this is 6. This is 7. And this is the one we just did, because even though it's not really on the main world map, this is where the entrance to it is. Alright, so I am going to save state because I don't remember what order these two are supposed to be in. Really? That wasn't right? I swear Spool Swamp was not. Third one, not the second one. Check. Okay, that's not it either. I guess I could always look it up. Look up the locations of the dungeons on the internet. Oh, this is the one that's at Eyeglass Lake, which is like the big one or something. Anyway, that's number 3. And then the 4th one, yeah, I think it's this one. Okay, and I know for a fact these are 6, 7, 8. So this is number 6, or 5, yeah. Time Ruin, across the sea, and finally the Thornfield Dungeon. So there we go. Incredible, you have met the challenge. And the reward for doing all of that hard work is a ring. Congratulations, here's another freaking ring. I think this is a unique ring that you can't get any other way, but it still is just a ring. It's fine, the challenge itself is the reward for playing this far into the game. I thought I might spend half an hour on that tough boomerang challenge, but I didn't wind up needing nearly as much. Not doing Maple anymore, I already have what I need from them. I'll admit, that's a pretty good reward. Let's take it. Why not? I have so much health. Let's go with high risk, high reward. I don't really need this anymore, so... high risk, high reward. Big damage. I've been playing with high risk, high reward, level 1 the whole entire time since Oracle of Ages. Why not go all the way, since I have as many hearts as you can possibly get in the entire game? This is gonna make the final bosses pretty funny, honestly. Oh. I guess this room exists. The only purpose of this room is for a little game where you start with seasons, though. There's nothing in it. I wanted to see if the springtime kid had anything to say about Zelda. Now that it's not spring, but he's not even here in winter. I guess he goes home during winter. You know, in the few minutes when it's winter time, he goes home. Either that or he's buried under snow waiting for that flower to bloom. Well, hey, Onox, I literally haven't seen you since the game started. You've been doing literally nothing but standing around. Like, at least Moran is active in the story and doing things. Onox does literally nothing. Thanks for the I guess it makes the healing sound even if you don't get healed. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that as you gather the essences, the tree actually gets taller. You grow more of these vines, and if you had 7 essences instead of 8, you'd actually see the seed just barely out of reach up there. yeah, so good job. Good job. Where is Impa during this? She's not even nearby. Like, try to do something ineffectually this time? She's just nowhere. So yeah, Onox's castle pretends to be a dungeon. You literally just walk north and fight enemies, and that's it. And that's all you have to do. Just kill all the enemies in the room, walk north. Go east or west, nothing happens. You go north without killing all the enemies first, and going up back where you started. And that's it. That's the whole entire room. It is so lame compared to the Black Tower. The best they could do is throw a facade at it, which is like the whole curve already off the sky. It's not hard to kill at all. I can even take the ring that increases bomb damage to make it die faster, but I can't even be bothered. And he dumps a fairy on you, and that's right before the boss itself. I'm pretty sure that's the last thing. So yeah, let's go. You know, I kind of forgot, actually. There is another use for the orb for the Rod of Seasons, right here in the boss fight. If you hit him, you get electric damage. And if you knock her away with the Rod of Seasons, then it counts as one, which is nice. But yeah, I'm not allowed to press start right now, by the way. We're stuck in an event. There we go. And we get a final boss fight in side-scrolling mode. Like Veron, who had a true form that she invoked after you beat her up in the two-phase boss fight, Onox also has a true form, but he's not a buff. Onox is a dragon. Fun. Summoned from the Dark Realm by Twinrova. This is the closest we ever get to an explanation for what Onox and Veron actually are, or where they came from. I guess they were both summoned from the Dark Realm or something. Anyway, I'm nearly dead, but I have some medicine, so it's fine. There we go, medicine used. If I get low on health, I guess I can take off the power. Boss music is kind of a semi-remix of the normal boss fight music, which is pretty neat. It's also very easy. Just don't get caught in his fights, I guess. The guy was good. I was gonna say it's not too hard to dodge, but I seem to do a terrible job at it. Okay, I guess maybe I'll survive if I equip this. If I have to retry, it's fine. We'll buy some potion. Well, that's the reward. That's the result of high risk, high reward tonight, I suppose. Let's just buy another potion. I had no idea that the dialogue of people in this town could change. What do you mean, more time? Anyway, I had no idea that people of this village change their dialogue, considering that they've literally never seen Zelda. Like, they never went here. It's a little weird. You'd think that Bombshoe would be useful against Facade, but I guess not. Not any more useful than anything else, really. So I still have the heart ring equipped, not the power ring. I guess I should go on and try again against the Dark Dragon with the power ring. This time starting with full health, though. So here's the thing about Onox. Varan is a much easier fight, but you're allowed to use lots of different weapons. Varan has long periods of invincibility, but you can use several different weapons. Sometimes a bomb, you can use seeds, you know. Onox is invincible to everything but the sword, and he spends long periods of time completely out of reach, which makes him a tougher fight, but, I don't know, a less versatile one, too. He definitely is the harder fight, though. By the way, return to normal means that it's spring everywhere permanently forever from now on. Straight in. You can leave and go explore the world if you want, but there's nothing cool back there. I already collected everything I wanted to. So, this is basically just a final boss battle. There's a little bit more to it because there's this one remaining puzzle. And you're not given any direction on what to do besides these eyes. And the trick is really simple once you know it. Lots of eyes are looking left, lots of eyes looking up, looking down. Nobody's looking left. That's right, everybody's at left and right. Exactly. So basically, you just go the way the eyes are looking. Here they're looking up, down, and left, so I should go right. Basically, it's one last lost words with its own little tell you where to go. Go left. Now I think I'm done because I'm going forward. I'm not quite done yet. But we're going forward. There we go. That's the entire dungeon puzzle up to the rights. Since it's identical in both games, I guess they couldn't make it actual puzzles or little challenges, but you have different set of equipment. I feel like they could have made the challenges with different equipment they might have in both games, but I don't know. Anyway, here's Zelda. Time to fight the boss. The thing is, the Oracle series is the first set of Zelda games that I've played. And the way these games present Ganon is like he's an eldritch demonic horror from the beyond. Not like he's just some guy as he is in Ocarina of Time. And yeah, he's kind of revealed to just be some thief in a Link that lives the past. But in this game, he's just a thing that is so fearsome that his revival would instantly destroy the world, apparently. And he's so hard to bring back that you require this giant multi-layered scheme to bring him back, which really makes him feel a lot more like a threat than he is in basically any other Zelda game that I can think of. Anyway, let's get into these bosses. Phase 1 is Specialty Tennis. Kind of a reflection of how you fight them in Ocarina of Time, except a much tougher fight, really, than just holding up your shield to reflect stuff, you know? I think it's just after hitting it with the sword a few times, you have to use a seed of any kind and it'll deal damage, regardless. Like a scent seed would also work, I think. Anyway, very appropriate because the seeds are something that are very unique to the Oracle series and never appeared ever again, despite how cool they are as an overall concept. Anyway, now time to fight here, because Minerva sacrificed herself instead of themselves. So, wrong sacrifice, imperfect ritual, imperfect result, as we see. So the Master Sword can hurt Ganon directly, but if you didn't get the level 3 sword, then the only way to hurt Ganon is with a spin attack. It's being much harder to get the level 3 sword. And he is plenty hard and tough. You get a slight advantage in seasons because you have a better jumping ability, and jumping lets you avoid several of his attacks, especially the devastating earthquake. Not that I managed to avoid that. After all that work to revive him, he's dead in just a few sword swings. Well, more than a few, more like several. Nonetheless, that concludes the Oracle series. Just go talk to Zelda, Twinrova waited around for other kings not to sacrifice, and we can proceed to the end credits. I guess Maki trees always had the power of teleportation. We just never used it until now. I have no idea where this is. There's no place in the entire Era of games that have this many buildings. Nowhere. So maybe that's in Hyrule? I don't know. What a beautiful and amazing pair of games. And forevermore, since first beating these two games, these define what a Zelda game is to me, what a Zelda game is supposed to be. And so, as a result, anything that doesn't live up to these two in some way feels like an inferior game. Feels like not as good of a Zelda game. Maybe that's unfair, but that's how I tend to feel about things. And then the Triforce was heard. I don't know why. But the ending of this game is interesting. Final scene, we see Link waving goodbye from a boat. Now I always took this to mean that the game that happens after that, Link's Awakening, which starts out with Link on a boat, must follow the events of these two games. It makes perfect sense, right? Link's on a boat, the boat crashes. That explains why it would be a Link who knows who Zelda is. Anyway. The final secret, which that menu, when I scrolled through all the secrets, I wasn't surprised that I was missing one. Because after you completely finish beating the game, you get this, the Hero's Secret. What this does is let you start a brand new game from Oracle of Ages, where you start out with extra health, and I guess you can get all the rings. Which is fine, but I just beat Oracle of Ages, then Seasons. You know, you'd at least like for it to be something that lets you start with Seasons, then Ages for a different experience, but, you know. I guess I should check, make sure I'm not wrong about that, but pretty sure this won't work. By the way, something I should mention I never did. You know, this was the first time that I encountered a password system in my life, because when I was relatively young, you know, battery saves were already the norm for basically any game. And this is a really well-designed password system. They went out of their way to not put any letters or numbers that can be confused with each other. Like, you'll notice there's no 1, there's no 0, because we don't want confusion between O, Q, 1, 0, L. You know, we don't want any of that confusion. Anyway, watch this not work. Oh, it works? Okay, I guess the Hero Secret just works in either game. That's nice. Well, I don't want to replay both games right now, but it's good to know you can from the Hero's Secret, because this would be a game that starts out on this side rather than the other side. I'm not sure what 002 is, that might be how you get some. Anyway, the Triforce symbol on your save file is the indicator that you have obtained the Hero's Secret and beaten the game completely. If I ever feel like playing again, I guess I might start from here. But that will do it for now. Maybe I'll play a different